Hey everybody, welcome to Steam Roulette, episode number 2 on the Let's Play Leak. I'm John, as always, and we're going to be playing the Stanley Parable today. I was going to do the Steam Roulette wheel spin every episode, and then I realized that you're already going to know what the game is from the title of the video, from the title card of the video, so there's no real point in doing the build-up of the Steam Roulette spin. What I might do is post a picture of the Steam Roulette spin right after I do it on Twitter and Facebook and things like that, before I actually produce the video. That way there is still that excitement of seeing what game is going to be coming before the video just pops up. But today is the Stanley Parable. This is a game that was originally a mod for Half-Life 2, I believe. Maybe it even started with Half-Life 1. I can't remember offhand. But it's a very narrative-driven game. There's very little action in this game, arguably none. It's interesting. I'm going to need to do some explaining up front because the game's going to start right away. But basically, you have this narrator who is narrating your life, and it all boils down to whether or not you have free will, whether you have to do what the narrator says or not. There are going to be times where you'll be presented with a choice where the narrator has told you what your decision is in that choice, and you might be able to choose something else and see what the consequences of that choice are. There are, I'm not entirely sure of the exact number, but tons of different endings that you can get because of all of the branching paths here. The game is hilarious at times. The game is poignant at times. This will be a bit of a let's play where you guys just kind of watch the game. It's going to speak for itself. I'll be talking, I'll be doing some explanatory things, comments, etc. But there's going to be a whole lot of just this game speaking for itself. But let's jump on into the Stanley Parable.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So here we are. We are Stanley. We've been pushing a button, and now there's no button to push. And we've been told that we leave the office. You could actually hang around here in the office if you wanted to, but let's keep going. See where
All
our
of his
coworkers
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, so we're going to head to the meeting room now and see if perhaps we did in fact miss a memo. Nobody seems to be here. Who knows what's going on? I hate Mondays. Me too, Mug. Me too. None of these doors open, unfortunately. Some doors open.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And here we have the first of the branching paths. We were just told that we enter the left door. But there's a right door here. Nothing's stopping me from walking into one of these doors or the other. So what do? Well, I'm going to follow free will. Or not free will, I'm going to follow the narrator. For right now, anyways. Pretty dingy looking office. The meeting room, we're here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside of you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Let it ball up inside of you. There's some pretty awesome, just little things sitting around like this. What do people want? Things. Money. Happiness. No. Mike, you're fired. More money. Things. But with money to buy more things. Graphs? Graphs about things and money. That's what our new product is. Just tons of little bits of polish like that, just all over the game. I definitely recommend taking your time and just sort of viewing everything. To do synergize core value expenditures. Broom closet. Can we go in the broom closet? We can go in the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I don't want to get back on track. I want to be in the broom closet. There's a broom in the broom closet.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
There's a broom and tape and several wrenches, pliers.
It was baffling that
I don't even
Stanley
know what that
was
orange
still
thing
just
is.
sitting in the
Staple
broom
gun, maybe?
closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Fine. Fine, I'll leave.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs to my boss's office, eh? What if I want to go downstairs? I'm going downstairs. Is there anything back here? No, there's not.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
No,
he
I
considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
And then we're back here. And that's the Stanley Parable. That's just a brief little snippet of it. Tons of different things can happen if we went in the left door, if we went in the right door, if we went up the stairs, down the stairs. There's just a ton of branching paths in this game. So much fun. Some of them are hilarious. Some of them are a little bit more serious. That one even was a little bit more serious, and Stanley died, which was unfortunate. But yeah, that's Stanley Parable. I can't recommend it more. I love it. The narration is fantastic. It's by Kevin Brighton or something like that, I believe. He's done a lot of voiceover work, and he's just perfect for this role. It's kind of like that movie Stranger Than Fiction, actually, which I also love, with Will Ferrell, that has the narration in his head because he's possibly a fictional character. I recommend this game. It's not that expensive on Steam, and you'll just get so much enjoyment out of it, playing all the different paths that you can go, trying to keep track of what paths you've been on. Even things like hopping in that broom closet. You could stay in that broom closet for a fairly long amount of time, and the narrator will get madder and madder that you're just sitting in that broom closet, and why aren't you leaving, and etc. I can't recommend this game more than enough. Go out, buy this game, play through it, play through all the endings, see if you can find them all. hopefully you enjoyed these videos. I'm having a lot of fun with this channel. I'm having a lot of fun going through my Steam library, playing games that I either haven't played or haven't played in a long time. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I definitely want to hear what you guys want to see on this channel, what games you want to see, what types of games you want to see, reviews, showcases, you know, multiple episode Let's Plays. Let me know for sure. You can always find me on Twitter at the Let's Play Leak, and you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/the Let's Play Leak. You've already found me here on YouTube. If you like the videos, you should click those little thumbs up icons to let the world know and let my videos rise up through the ranks. And also subscribe to my channel. There's a button below each video and one in the outro of each video. That'll keep you up to date on all the latest Steam Roulette episodes, reviews that'll be popping up, the Kerbal Let's Play series that I'm doing, etc. You'll be the first to know that those videos have been published. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.